Hello guys, welcome back. And today we're ranking Among Us. Where's the F? My thingy doesn't have enough have a tire list. Oh well, we'll be ranking Among Us roles including the crewmate and the imposter. So let's just get started for some weirdness. First up we're gonna do is the crewmate. The crewmate over here is quite of a simple one. Do your task, exile the imposters. The crewmate has these type of roles. So I'm gonna and you must do tasks to win, or vote out the imposter. It seemingly is pretty fun, and you can call meetings just to say you have a scan, and they will ensure your safety. However, imposters are there to kill you, so you have to put it in the A tier. Perfect. Now for the next role, you have the scientist. So the scientist is a role that can view vitals, and the viewing vitals is to show you whoever is dead. Now all you need to do is find the body instead of calling a meeting, and I'm gonna put it in S tier. Most people put it in D, C, or B, or F tier, but it actually is pretty good. If you're like a person like I am Yagmil and checks who went out of the room where the body was, you can also find where it is. But now I'm gonna add it to A tier since the vents are there. But since imposters hers may not may just get out, maybe I'll put it back in S tier. Next role is the engineer. A crewmate that can vent, literally. I'm putting it in C tier here. It's one of the best roles. You can go in the vents between medbay, hay security, electrical, and see who kills. But if you who will use the vents not in plain sight while people see you, they might suss you out. Cause if you do it in plain sight, they can already tell that you're an engineer, hence it's not worth risking. Next up on the list is the noisemaker role. Once you're killed, the noisemaker will send out an alert to everyone, including the imposters. However, you can change if the imposters can alert in the noisemaker settings. However, the Viper over here is a big counter to it, and just before they can find the body, here the body has disappeared. But I'll have to give it an A tier since the detective can work out that it's a Viper kill since you are heading to the right direction, but it has disappeared. Even your pet and you guessed it, the detective it is. Detective can access his the first role that can have two abilities as the crewmates. It's more easier to find the imposter out that way. When he ask everyone where the body was, and if they tell you where it was, then we can add the location of the room, and you can add say where was the location by, near, or in. And when they say, for example, near or then someone that was near that had place like medbay should be the imposter, or some or sometimes sometimes you can the maximum amount of suspects you can have is 4, while the other maximum short amount of suspects you can have is 3. But I like having 4 so that you get more suspects, and last and how do you get suspects? Interrogate, of course. Go near a player and their location will be added to the file. If not hot in the location it was, then 100% they're not the imposter. However, if you see someone kill and it wasn't the imposter, could have been a shapeshifter. So, but I'm still adding it to S tier. Next up is the tracker. The tracker is a very OP role. Track a player who you want. Sometimes I even track the player at the very beginning of the game, and then and you can see them on the map teleporting. Hence only for you can see you moving in any hall and any move. However, for other players in your map, they just teleport since it's not you. But in the admin table, instead of their location teleporting around, it will just show you a great picture of a crew of the new anonymous vote crewmates on the room they are her and when the tracker goes out then the player will be gone on your map, and I think this is what the tracker delay here is. I always set it to 3 because I always thought the tracker delay second was so that you can delay more trackers, but I actually figured it out. I think if you set it to 3, it will take 3 seconds before the tracker will work, or it will take 3 seconds until the player teleports around the map. So it is tracker good? Yes, because if the tracker is onto a player and you see them coming out of the room with the body in the room they came out, they might be the imposter, or it could just be a shapeshifter. So I am adding it to S tier. Next up is the guardian angel. Of course, S tier. I've seen lots of shorts saying that imposters regret the killing people with a lot of guardian angels, cause they with the low protect cooldown, cause they actually exile every imposter and protect everyone before another crewmate has fallen down. And the first role imposter, of course, S tier. Here, it's the only main role that you can use to not to use killing and not to use task, and you can use vents. However, if you want to be you got then you must pretend you're doing task. However, the taskbar will fill up, so they could easily say that you're the imposter here, but I still added an S tier. Next one is the shapeshifter. I added to A tier. This is because that the shapeshifter her her can shapeshift into anyone, confusing everyone. Then and the people will get confused on who it is, and you can like dance around the body to show it's a shapeshifter, and you can even use but the do not shapeshift near walls, since this results holds chemical reactions and makes the shape-shifting egg visible. And the people can tell if it's a starting shapeshift if the shapeshift come out of the ground, and if it's a starting shapeshift, then it will be the same color as the player who's gonna shapeshift into, and it's same with the on shapeshift. However, it's coming from the player's side. However, I wanted to be more creative and made it two colors, and you can even use the vents to make the shapeshift animation not seen. Next up, Phantom. B tier. Anyone can see. D tier. You can be visible as you can see in the drawing. However, the cloud of shapeshift this vanishing is a very big, and also makes a noise. And the worst part of all is that every server I find mostly has a very short disappear vanish duration. So, but I want to add anything in here, so I'll add it here since you can't see the egg, so that everything has its own slot. And with the last one, Viper S tier. Here, normally the best has a kill imposter, since it will shoot. It makes a new kill screen. Same as the 8 kill screen, but shooting out acid, cause he is the Viper and can shoot out deadly acid. And once the body is fully dissolved, even the pet will disappear, and the body will also disappear here once it reach the next state of bone called gone. And if you even try to report it before it fully dissolves, be quick, because a lot of people like to hit the reporting duration into like 15 seconds, before you could even report it. And it's a bit of a big counter to the Noisemaker, which is why it's one of the best ones. Hope you guys have a good day. See you next time.